Good morning. I have a few hours today and I'm here to do a little bit of hard work. And the hard work is going to involve this pile in which we've got, I love poppies. I'm almost tempted to transplant some of them to my allotment because they're so beautiful. And I don't mind if I get infested with poppies because I just love poppies. See, look at them. And they're growing in a pile of manure. Absolutely gorgeous. Lovely. So I think that's going to be added to my list of things to do, is to bring them in. However, my plan is to dig out as much as I can of this pile of manure which has been here since winter and apply it to some of the beds I never got to applying it to. And look, looks like someone may have planted a squash in here. Okay, so that's going to be my job. Remove the knotweed, remove the grassy areas. This is obviously a very healthy pile of manure if we've got all this stuff growing in it. And the squash looks like it's growing as well. So we're going to get on with it. Let's go. First things first, I need to pick up my wheelbarrow and get going, and also carry a few bits and pieces, including tea, because the plan is to do what I need to do and also take some time to sit and relax if I might have time, because I've got an eye test today. And so it's going to be a tight schedule today, very tight, so we'll see what we can get done. The other thing I'm hoping I'll be able to do is to get the parsnips planted in. I know it's a bit late, but hey, it is what it is. I need to plant some parsnips. I've been looking for the seeds for ages, and I finally found them this morning at around 5 o'clock, because although I woke up at 5, it's now 7 o'clock, because I wanted to appear normal by not turning up at the allotment at 5 a.m, which is what I wanted to do. But it would not have been a good thing, because I think my family would just think I've gone beyond weird. Not that they ever thought that I was normal, but hey, one can have hope. The other thing I want to do is to harvest this bunch of garlic, because it really is done and we've got rust on it, so we're going to do that as well today. We'll harvest it, refresh the beds, and then my plan is, hold on, let me put these things down for now. I'm just chucking them because every time I come up I bring cardboard, as you can see, and also my cup of tea, which is going further up, because everything looks like it's grown a lot, and I have slugs somewhere in my spare broccoli, but that's all right. It's manageable and dealt with easily. And if I can get out of the light, my carrots, which I sowed the other day, are all germinating very beautifully. Very nice. Plus some beans and bindweed. Has everyone else found that the beans haven't been germinating the way they should? It's almost as if there's something wrong with them. I'm going to put the parsnips in this pot here. But first, let's go have a look at my there's definitely a slug somewhere in here. I saw a slug when I was prepping the bed, but then when I turned around to try and find it, I couldn't find it. So there must be a slug somewhere in there. But the other bits and pieces are still surviving. The courgettes have put on a spurt of growth, and now that I have found those poppies, I'm thinking I might uproot some from there and put them here, just along here in between, to attract the pollinators, because I think my first lot of fruit was not fertilized, but the next lot I think will be. Yeah, it looks like the first lot wasn't fertilized, probably because there were no male flowers to do the job. But now I think I've got a lot of female flowers, not a lot of male flowers about, which is probably why, but that's okay. As you can see, they're thriving and looking beautiful. These three are a little bit too close together, so I might uproot this one and move it slightly to the center, which is where I really wanted it in the first place. And then I'll try and fit in the poppies somehow. I really love the poppies, so I need to find space for them on my allotment because they're gorgeous. Maybe I'll put them in the disaster bed over there. But look, the plants I gave a chance to are still surviving. They're still holding on, so they're not dead. Even the tomato looks like it's like, okay, yes, I will grow. I'm planning to bring a whole lot of tomatoes down, but plan is to either there, I hope I'm pointing at the right place and that you can see, either in that bed, or maybe I think along there will do, because they need to be at the north end. I want to create space for a whole load of beans. Oh wow, look at this. The pumpkins, no idea what type they are, have suddenly decided to wake up and start growing. And my problem potatoes are really taking off. I really don't know. Do I let them grow? But they're, hold on, let's move from the pumpkins. You see this? Potatoes, potatoes, potatoes. I've also got broccoli doing really well. So the broccoli is doing well despite the disturbance from the potatoes. So dilemmas, the beetroot, which is some just there. Let me see if I can pull it in. See, just there. The beetroot is doing well as well and thriving. So are the kaleets. I've got a couple that are growing well, and I've got too much bindweed now, so there's a lot to do. And I need to harvest this chard, which I'm going to harvest it the way Tony C. Smith harvests it, his. And this one has gone to seed, so I'll probably pull it out, which will give me space. And when I come back later this afternoon, I've actually got some, and to try kohlrabi. So to do that, I'll probably sow it direct in here, since the space is already available. Why not? Right, these guys are growing fine. These are the, I think this is broccoli, sprouting broccoli, which was given to me, or broccoli which was given to me, and it's doing fine. Swiss chard is trying to push up my net. The rape is being bothered by the flea beetle, but or is this the Chinese cabbage? Which one is which? Stella, do you even remember? Oh, and this is a constant bugbear. This part of the net keeps falling, and so today I think that's the first thing we're going to sort out, is this part of the net, because it's unacceptable. So let me go get the implements that are going to allow me to do that before I even do anything else. Let's sort this net out and protect our cabbages from the cabbage white. That is priority number one. So in a way, despite the fact that it is boring for you to watch me show you the same things over and over again, it's a good thing, because it helps me to do a survey and identify where the problems are, and this is where the main problem is. So let's get on and sort this out now. I'm surprised that, you know, those guys are still doing well, but let me go get the bits I need. All right, I've got what I need, and it's this, and we'll see how well they work. with the canes I've got. I'm also planning to pop into Wilko, and I know that this type of netting is so, I mean not netting, the cage is sold in there. So if this doesn't work the way I want it to, then I'll just go get some. I believe one of the ladies I spoke to in the allotment said it's about $12.99, so I can get one to cover the bed and protect my babies, which are all thriving. Everything has put in a spurt of growth since the rain we had. But when I came here that time, it didn't have any appearance of having grown, but now suddenly it's all like boom. I mean, look at that. I love the squash bed, it's looking good. The potatoes, I didn't grow any potatoes, and these potatoes, I don't even know what type of potatoes they are. Oh God, Stella. Okay, but let me set you up. Oh Stella, you forgot. Oh, you dipstick. Right, I have to go back to the car. I forgot something else. Right, let me go, and I'll see you when I get back. Hey, let's get going with what I need to do in this space, which is to protect my plants as well as I can. The canes seem sturdy enough, so I may try to continue using them, and I'll see how they do. Gosh. I need to first remove the weights. And put them elsewhere for now. Step one is to remove all the weights. I think on one side will be enough. And then try not to step on it when you're trying to remove it, because that doesn't help. And try to make sure your implement does not poke the net and make a hole big enough for butterflies to go into. Okay, let me get these. It's such a pity that you can't have your plants free to view like that. Isn't that gorgeous? They look absolutely lovely, and I love the way they look. I mean, look at that. Lovely, lovely, lovely. So nice, but because of all the bugs that like to share in our food, we cannot do that. So we have to do what we can to protect them. Right, I'm going to speed you up because I find slow videos boring sometimes for myself, so I assume other people must feel the same. So let me speed you up. I was actually putting it on, and then I realized I could have shown you what I'm using in case you do not know what it is. These I got on Amazon, and what I will do is I'll put a link. It's not an affiliated link or anything like that. I'm not that fancy, but it's something you can use to create your corners on your frames, so that you can then protect your plants a lot more easily. So these are what I'm using to try and set up my frame so that it will be more secure, and hopefully it will work a lot better than it has been. The other thing I'm probably going to do is Now I'll actually leave it as it is. So in the future when I have money, I'd rather the hoops because they work much better. But for now, this will do. So let me carry on and do that now. That's done. I've not put anything on all the corners. Ideally, I shouldn't have used those thin bamboo sticks because they're not sturdy enough to hold everything together. But my system will hold for now until I get round to getting some more PVC piping to finish this cage off properly as it should be. I also took the opportunity to take out the bindweed that was starting to take over in that bed, and so now it looks a lot better. Now to get on and get my wheelbarrow and go get started shoveling manure to go on the beds. I'm not going to count, but before I do, I'll have to set up my alarm clock, because if I don't, I'll get past the time I'm supposed to be here and then I'll be in trouble. So let me get on and do that now. The alarm is set and the time has come to get started with the tough job of hauling manure. So let's get on. Okay, this is where I'm going to be working. I've decided to start with that space. And the first thing I need to do is to peel back the weed membrane along the edge where I want to work. Try and level the ground out, but I forgot my rake, which would have worked really well. So I'm going to see what I can use in there to try and level the ground there before I add the manure to it. I think it's going to take at least 3 to 4 wheelbarrows of manure to get that space ready for what I want it to do. I'm in for a bit of hard work, but then this is what I sometimes look forward to, weird though that is. I look forward to having some really good toiling, which leaves me with my body aching. And I think that will be all I'm doing today, is hauling manure onto that bed. And by the time the alarm goes, most likely I won't have started the other bed, but that's all right. Okay, it's taking a while. I don't know what time it is. Let me check. The time is 9:17, which means I'm doing well. I'm also watering my plants in between, holding my pipe where I need it and watering those areas. So I should be done within the next hour. It's going to take another 1, 2, 5 trips of manure to get this bed done. The reason I wet the cardboard this time, unlike what I did in the winter, is because I haven't got time to wait for everything to sort itself out, because of the fact that I want to start planting in it soon. So I'm going to do what I can to park up this bed as much as possible and help it with the breakdown a little bit quicker. I put the cardboard down to suppress the weeds that are underneath, because last year I spent every week weeding this bed, which is why I covered it in the end. And so what I will do is I will put the wheat membrane back over the top until I plant in it, but I'm just going to fill it with manure today. That's my job, watering and manuring. Okay, let me carry on. This is hard work. I'm actually going to have a break. It's 9:40, so from 9:17 to now I've done 3 wheelbarrows. Oh Jesus, 20 minutes killing me. So in another 20 minutes I'm sure I can do 2 wheelbarrows, so I'll rest a moment and then I'll carry on. Let me first pour on this one so that it gives me a sense of achievement. So let's do that. Oh. Okay, time to go have a rest and have my cup of tea, but I'm nearly there. I'm definitely wanting to do 2 more wheelbarrows, because the second one will the next one will kind of partially cover that area, and then I'll need an extra just to layer a little bit of extra on top, and then I'll have done that section. And then when it comes to planting, you'll see how I'm going to do my planting. That's going to be a bean bed. I'm going to do bilotti beans right at the edge, and then towards the inner side I want to do dwarf beans, and I think I know how I'm going to achieve what I want. I'm going to start them all off at home first of all, although they say at this time you can plant them direct in the ground, but I don't know whether they'll survive if I plant them directly in the ground. We shall see. Okay, let me go have a cup of tea and then I'll be back. Okay, I'm all done, just in time for the alarm, so I can start to tidy away. And everywhere else has actually been watered as well in the meantime. So I think I can count it as a successful morning. So I just need to cover up this section and wash my hands because we're covered in manure. And my feet. Put everything away and then I can go home. But it's a good day. I think the maximum number of wheelbarrows I should be carrying in a day should be 4, because the 5th one was a killer and it almost tipped over because I've got a very poor quality wheelbarrow that I bought from Amazon. Please don't ever buy This wheelbarrow from Amazon is absolutely useless, so I'm going to have to invest in another one. But for now it will do, as long as I don't overload it. So I'll just have to try and work out a way of making it more secure on the bottom, because it wobbles because the wheel is not secure. You can't pump up the wheel if it goes down because of where the pumping up section is. Everything about it is useless. It's very flimsy, wobbly. The metal is not solid and sturdy enough to be used for gardening. It's meant for light work. You couldn't even carry a child safely. That's how bad it is. Anyway, we live and we learn. And we were being lazy. We didn't want to go to a garden center to purchase one, and the result was this. So this evening I'll come back and I will harvest the garlic, but I'm so curious about it. I'm tempted to harvest one, but I'll leave it. Or should I? Let's see. You're not going to see. Okay, I've just pulled one out because I was too curious to leave it. And look, not bad. And it broke into sections, and so we will be having some lovely looking garlic, which actually it looks like real garlic. This is going to be used tonight because I'm planning to do some lucullus. Has got rust on it, but it looks good. Exciting days are coming this evening. Yes.